you can actually look at some of the benefits and some of the demerits also of waterfall. So as I said, there are some good things with waterfall. It's straightforward, it's simple. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. You follow the steps blindly. The client has a clear understanding. They say that, okay, we are in the requirement stage, will take 3 months. They don't have any clue what we're doing here. Working on writing these 300-page document, the FRS or the BRD, MRD, the business requirement document, MRD, market requirements document. All these are different types of requirement documents, right? Thousands of pages of documents. Then we go to the client and say, review, we get the sign off after all the changes done. So it's fairly, there's a visibility in terms of the process, but obviously we'll have a look at the disadvantages later. And then the rigidity yields defined results. Because of the fact that it's all rigid, it's all set, everybody knows what the other person is doing, but the problem is that it is taking too much time. And if there's some sudden changes in the process, they cannot accommodate that. That's something which is a big minus point with waterfall. And tasks are easy to classify, definitely there. So that's where the decomposition really helps there with the functional decomposition. And we were talking about the work breakdown structures in the estimation class the other day lesson. So where we're talking about the work breakdown, work does get broken down into, okay, this is the front end, this is back end, this is middleware. Front end go about doing this. Once we need to have the pages. For the pages, we need to have the designs. And for the designs, we had to have the wireframes or the mock-ups. And for the mock-ups, we need to have the requirements. So there is that kind of a clarity there, and it's easy to classify. So that's one advantage with waterfall. But as I said, it's easy to document well. It is documentation, too much of documentation there. I was talking about the change request to change this from purple to blue, this color on the screen. And that would take at least 5, 6 pages of documents written, and then from there gets approval, another sheet added there from the reviewer, approver. Too much of documentation, too much of paperwork, too many people to actually review the stuff and approve it. So obviously, what does that mean? That means they're taking a load of time. It's a lot of time is wasted in the process, in the review process, in the approval process. And the phases are completed one at a time. So until the requirements are done, you cannot start design. So once you have got the frozen requirements, as what we call the signed off requirements, we then pass this from BA to the technical lead or the technical architect. Then they will start looking at the requirements, say they'll start the design. From there on, it will take another 3 months for the design to complete. Once the design is complete, then only the developers will come into picture. And then from there on, once the development is done about 6 months later, that's when the testers will be brought into the team. They're not initially, there are no testers. So if you see, that's the problem with this one. Here, the software does not get tested until the end. So here you actually get the whole big product with all the functionality, and then you give that to a team of testers. Hey, there you go, now test this. You know what? They'll come back with thousands and thousands of defects. They'll report severe showstoppers, major bug, thousands of minor bugs, cosmetic bugs. If you see that list, you'll be like, zap, oof, my gosh, you've got no less than 10,000 defects of all types, and there are hundreds of showstoppers. No way can you actually go to this market, go to the market with this build, with the product as it is. And then you go to the client and say, well, we need more budget, we need more time, we need more money, we need more effort, more people. If you want to do this, it's like the classical problem of, I think it's a bit sexist, but it's like putting 9 mothers to create a baby in 1 month. That's the classic case with waterfall in those days. So if you've got like, oh, you need to develop in like 2 months, client wants it like by December. So let's put 10 more testers to finish this testing, and we'll have 3 more developers coming in to fix those bugs. We'll have 5 more developers creating new functionality. What are you trying to do? You're trying to add more and more fat, but at the same time, what you can't understand is there's no linear relationship with number of people with the amount of work that they do for productivity. So in effect, you're just having the flab, adding the flab onto the project without actually any clear result in terms of the productivity or the work itself. So that classic case of putting the 9 mothers to create a baby in 1 month is leading to a disaster. And that's the reason why it never worked. Waterfall, is not the way to go, because it is too cumbersome, too much of dependency on people. It's not suitable for complex. Again, another thing is the problem with you can only see so much, right? So you assume you started off with this, and then the point is, how can you actually think and estimate for something which you have not seen, which is completely new, which is very innovative?